Bro, are you confused by women? Would you like consistently better results in dating and your love life and sex life? I got some stuff for you. And I got some jokes because it's funny. Men and women are so different. You can't not find it funny because it would be like if a cat and a dog were like biochemically addicted to each other, but they're different species, but they have to mate. That's kind of being men and women. The man is represented by the sun. Let's make that really simple. The sun more or less is always the same. It runs on a 24-hour hormone cycle or sun cycle. Yeah, it's summer. I'm in the Midwest right now. It's a little sunnier, but more or less it's the same. The male experience of life day to day is more or less the same. With me? Boom. Female experience of life is not the sun. It's the moon. It's constantly different. Constantly. For about 30 some or 40 some years. Pretty long ass time. The funny thing about men and women, now, it would make no sense, right? If the moon and the sun were arguing about who's right. You'd go, of course, that's silly. But most men and women, we basically do this. We look at the sun and say, why is it not more like the moon? We look at the moon and say, why is it not more like the sun? Men do this more than women, which totally makes sense if you're a dude, because you've been around a lot of other male friends that probably don't have the ultimate results they want with women, or really know how to crack the code of women in a simple way, which is actually much simpler than you think, and it's much more fruitful and fulfilling. And to think about that for a second, what if part of the missing component of why you're not in your current relationship, dating life, sex life, your next future relationship is because you're confused and you totally misunderstand women? Almost like, think of it this way. Imagine you own a business in New York. You've been in business 10 years. You made a lot of money the last 3 years. You now have these clients that are coming in from Japan that this business deal they'll do with you, which will last a few months that you need to deliver, that will make you more money than the last 3 years combined. It's a big deal. You're a dude from New York. You don't speak Japanese. That kind of makes sense. You hire a guy who speaks Japanese. He doesn't understand Japanese culture. He's never spent any time, let alone months or years in Japan, where you really understand the culture. There's obviously other ways you can understand it. You don't need to go there for months. But he doesn't understand the culture. He understands the language. You go, Japanese people come in. The guy thinks like an American, who's your translator. There's 6 other Japanese dudes there, and he addresses the guy who he perceives to be the leader, the boss, the alpha, whatever you want to call it. In Japanese culture, that's very disrespectful. They look at the team. They don't look at the manager or the leader or the alpha. They don't see it that way, even if there is a hierarchy operating like that. Because he does this, he blows the whole deal. Why is that important, this Japanese metaphor? Because most men, not only do they not speak woman, they don't speak Japanese, they don't speak woman, they don't understand the culture on top of it. And then when we go with our other guy friends, they don't understand, and they can't make sense of it. And it's not like you have to read these endless books about women's emotions or something. There's actually a simple formula to better understand women and have radically different. Like I'm talking, you can learn a couple things and you can be like, oh, I've never had a first date like this. Like, this is real? Like, oh, whoa, I didn't know you could unlock this level and it's kind of easy, huh? But that if that was holding you back of not having this level of speaking the same language. And they'll think of it this way. Imagine right now, what time is it? It is, I don't know, that clock is very off. It is not 1:05, even though the clock is lying. It's like, I think it's like 9:30 or 9:45. Imagine if I went outside right now. You can see it's dark. right? Even though it was light out like an hour ago. Imagine if I went outside right now, or you did this. Not that you would ever do this, because you're a smart guy. And I just started looking at the sky, and I looked up at the moon, and I was like, what the fuck, moon? Why aren't you the sun? What if you saw someone doing that at 9:38 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, and you saw some dude outside looking at the moon and going, why aren't you the sun? Where's the sun? You would think that dude was fucking crazy. You would actually maybe even joke to yourself, it's going to be a rough night for this dude if he's really expecting the fucking moon to turn into the sun. It's going to be a hard night for this dude. He's not going to hopefully get some resolve till about 5:30, 6:30, depending on where you're at in the morning. This is more or less what men are doing in dating and relationships, because a relationship and sex, for men more than women, magnifies this thing that we all have of not feeling enough, not feeling loved, not feeling accepted. It's something that's in the operating system of the human species. It's just of love, of survival, of a sense of certainty, even if it's not activated in the moment. The opposite sex magnifies that more than any relationship on planet Earth, especially when you're wanting to date or be intimate with someone. So it can bring up different wounds and different pains. If we just label all women as crazy, it kind of gives us the illusion of a pass, but it actually creates more problems and more pain. So if you're someone looking to crack the code and finally make sense of women and get totally different results in your sex life, your dating life, and have a lot more fun and build the relationship you want, tune in for more. See you soon. Don't yell at the fucking moon.